My name is Pavan Kumar Varma, which I write in English as Pavan K. Varma. And I was born in the ancient holy city of Banaras, which is also called Varanasi, where the Ganga, the river, flows. I'm supposed to be a diplomat. Not supposed, I am a diplomat, but I am also a writer. India is a complex country. That's a truism, that's also a cliche. Indians have fallen in love a little, I think, with the kind of image they want others to see them by. It's important that they begin to look at themselves not in terms of who they think they are or who they want the world to believe they are, but who they actually are. It's a consequence of colonialism. When an ancient and diverse and complex and refined culture and civilization is colonized for over 2 centuries, people stop being who they are because they have become so used to being what the other wants them to be or thinks they are. Even though we may not be who we think we are, there are many strengths in being who we actually are. And it's only when you begin to realize that you actually begin to be comfortable in your own skins. I think Indians are difficult to understand at the surface because there are layers upon layers of accumulated historical experience, of conditioning, of behavioral patterns, of response and reaction, which are often invisible, often a reflex, often unseen, often unnoticed even by them. For instance, easy to believe that Indians are otherworldly, that they are spiritual, that they are beyond the material temptations of this world. It's not true. One of the things I argue is that Indians make very good entrepreneurs. They are of this world, they make the full use of it. There's no sanction, for instance, in Hinduism, no penalty against the making of money. There's no biblical injunction that it's as difficult for a rich man to reach heaven as for a camel to go through the eye of the needle. So there is a philosophical validity to the pursuit of what material gains this world has to offer. There is the other myth now recently engendered because of what we've done successfully for the IT revolution that is happening in India, that Indians have suddenly become technological wizards, that they are modern, their outlook is changing. But I argue the point that Indians are harmonious schizophrenics. They can be traditional and modern in the same breath. I always say the Indian mind is not a cupboard. It's a chest of drawers. You pull out one drawer and you are in the 21st century with your fingers on the keyboard of a computer, and you pull out another drawer and you are in part of some obscurantist ritual which goes back 2,000 years. So tradition and modernity overlap in India in many fascinating ways. Today, more than ever before, the great salad bowl of India is becoming a melting pot because of a variety of reasons. But today, an Indian in any part of the country, be he Hindu, Muslim, or any other religion, has more than one symbol by which he or she can identify with all of India. I believe there are great reservoirs of resilience which allow us to survive in difficult circumstances. One of them is this whole notion that the world itself is ephemeral. And so ultimately, how bad can adversity be when the world itself is unreal? All Indian schools of philosophy, except Mayavad, the theory of Maya, Maya is the magical power that creates the illusion that the world is real. In reality, nothing exists except the ultimate being, Brahman. The rest is appearance. Death only kills the physical body. The soul, which is imperishable, continues its cycle of rebirths, changing bodies as people change clothes, until finally it merges with the Absolute. The whole theory of karma, that it's a cycle. You could be in bad situation at the moment, but you could be tomorrow. Things could change. Now, these are things which sustain a people. For every one opportunity, there are 100 claimants in India. And for a great number of centuries, even opportunities were denied to a great many people. So today in India, as a result of that, there is a tremendous resilience in terms of seizing the opportunity, the great art of survival. Success in India is venerated, and failure is never forgiven, really. There is an Indian expression, and like others, quite impossible to translate adequately: jugaad. People are encouraged to use jugaad when faced with a blank wall or a difficult problem. Jugaad is creative improvisation, a tool to somehow find a solution, ingenuity, a refusal to accept defeat, initiative, quick thinking, cunning, resolve, and all of the above. In India, a lost opportunity is an unforgivable waste, and improvisation is the mother of survival. The great strength of India is this instinct for homegrown entrepreneurship. Only 3% of India's economy is in the organized sector. The rest is in a sector where people live for the day using coordinates which are unpredictable and continue to survive and to make money. That is the difference. The ability to think out of the box, because survival is not a luxury. Half of India is employed in the streets of India. And they survive through ingenuity, initiative, quick thinking, a refusal to accept defeat. The greatest obstacle in actually overcoming the cliches about India and Indians are actually Indians themselves. They have fallen in love with the image that they believe represents what they think they are. People say you've put a mirror before us so that we can, for the first time, see ourselves as who we are. But a great many people don't want to see that image. They would rather see something which, from their point of view, is in some strange way more flattering, but is not the truth. In so many ways, we need to understand, first of all, who we are. And only then can we really become the kind of confident citizens that India needs to play the kind of role it wants to in the 21st century.